my name is Michelle and welcome to my YouTube channel. On this video today, I will go over my Bookstagram journey, my Booksta evolution. I will go over some mistakes that I made, how I grew my Bookstagram, how did I started, and overall just I hope some advice I can help you too. In the comments, I would love to hear your Bookstagram journey, or if you're inspired by this video and want to put on an IGTV or YouTube video too, I would love to see it. Please tag me, let me know in the comments. I would love to watch it. This is the first of many Bookstagram videos, also reading blogs and some other fun stuff that I have planned. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, and let's start. Over the course of 2.5 years of Bookstagramming, I have gained 23,000 followers, which is so unreal, and I'm so thankful to every single one of you. Bookstagram means a lot to me. So let's see how I started. This is my first feed. It is very basic. I didn't have any props, I didn't have any budget, I only used stuff from around the house. I mainly started because I wanted to share my love for books, mainly my book hauls, because I would only show to my mom, and my mom was like, really, more books? And I was just like, I just wish someone would get as excited as me when I buy new books. That's how everything started, with a picture of a book haul. I just was so excited to receive my books, and I wanted to share that joy with everyone, and I think that's something that has translated to my account even today, my excitement about books, because that's how everything started. I want to talk more in detail about the first post, which, as you can see my bed sheets, and that was definitely one of my biggest pet peeves. I knew that I needed a uniform background, so that's the first advice I want to give you. Like, if you're starting Bookstagram, whatever you can do to make your background cohesive, do it. I knew I didn't want to use those sheets because they have like blue detail, but that's why I bought white sheets. So now that's why I'm obsessed with white sheets, because they make the best background. I also used beige for a while, but I have seen people use pink and purple and make it work. It just depends on your vision. For the first hours of Bookstagramming, I discovered my friends are fiction and dark fairy tales, and definitely they became a big role model for me. I discovered so many other accounts with beautiful setups and flat lays and so many themes, but I just knew that it was not what I had in hand when I started it. That first day, I tried to discover as many accounts as I could, and I discovered so many different themes. Like, we have floral, dark, light, warm, cozy, messy, minimalistic. It's just, there are like so many amazing accounts on Bookstagram and so much diversity. I just want to remind you that do not compare your day one to many Bookstagrammers who are 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years into their journey. I definitely did that at the beginning. I was like, oh my god, how are they doing such beautiful flat lays, how they're doing some beautiful setups? And I can tell you, everybody can do it. It is just a matter of practice and patience, and just developing your own style. At the very beginning, I also asked my friend Kayla to pose as my model. I had a very strict vision in mind for my Bookstagram. I wanted to be as aesthetic as possible. So I needed to control everything, and I didn't know how to take pictures of myself. That has definitely changed, as you know now. But I didn't know how to take pictures of myself, so I asked my friend Kayla, because it's better when I'm behind the camera and I can control every single move and I can control the aesthetic. So yeah, definitely that hard work paid off, because I got my first picture with over 800 likes on my very first days on Bookstagram. At that time, I was also very focused on winning a rep search, so I was entering rep searches non-stop, and I can tell you that I was not ready for them. I lost every single one of them, and I'm really grateful. I'm gonna do a future video on my rep search advice, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to stay tuned. Entering a lot of rep searches and losing them hits you hard. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's very hard. It was definitely hard for me. So I started to hate my account. Like like I went from loving it to actually like to seeing it every day and be like, wow, like this picture is beautiful, to this picture is garbage, I cannot believe I published this, I cannot believe people liked it. It was just that like feeling of hatred through my account, and that definitely inspired my first theme change. So I knew I wanted something cheap, so I went outside and picked up pine cones, leaf, branches, and anything that I could find that was aesthetic. Also, in the journey of that, I burned a book. Okay, before you unsubscribe and leave my channel and leave a comment, horrible comment down below, I know, I'm not encouraging people to burn books, but I got this book at a garage sales. It was about to be recycled. Okay, there are plenty of copies of this book, and I use this book every day as a prop. So yeah, I did burn 3 pages, but it looks very pretty. And just by like, I took a picture because it was like very captivating, like to see the fire. So I took a picture and I published it on my Bookstagram, and that definitely got a lot of attention, good and bad. But that picture made me realize that doing things differently and breaking the rules does give you some boost. And I'm not telling you go misread books, because that's not the point of it. It was not the point of the picture. I was trying to do a prop and just took a picture in between everything. But that definitely inspired my filter, so like inspired a change in my account. Enough, I got bored of that leaves, branch, dark theme. So I went on Pinterest and looked for a lot of inspiration, and that's where I knew that I gravitated more towards the aesthetically pleasing, cozy, warm tone pictures. And I knew that I wouldn't achieve that without a filter. And it was a big deal for me because I was terrified of filters. By that time, I already had won 2 rep searches. I think I was a rep for Spidey Sense and Letters Lit and Enchanted Fandoms. And I was really scared of changing because, you know, like I won the rep search, like they sign up for the dark fall theme. So when I changed to cozy warm, I felt like I was like disappointing them in a way. So I remember sending a message and being like, listen, like here's my new theme, like if you don't like it, like it's okay, you can like kick me out as a rep. I'm aware that this is not what you sign up for me as a rep, so that's okay if you want to kick me out. All of them absolutely loved my first theme, and it just I cannot believe I was so scared. And that goes to show that yes, your content is important. It has to be great quality content. The quality of my content didn't change, it just changed the style. But they signed up for me and my personality and my vision, and they saw it, so I'm really happy for that, and they gave me the freedom to explore. So for this theme, I knew I needed like texture in a way, so I knew my own clothes didn't reflect the aesthetic that I was looking for. I wear very cold tone, dark clothes. So I went to my mom's closet, and she has a lot of like warm tones, beige stuff. That's where I got everything. Like you see skirts, you see scarves, you see sweaters. They're from my mom. I just took them. To this day, she hasn't noticed that they're gone. This filter, this theme is still one of my favorites. It was just very fun to experiment with filters for the first time, and I really love the overall look of everything. What I didn't love is that it didn't allow me to experiment with colors, because some colors wouldn't translate to the filter because it was very heavy. But yeah, overall I did enjoy this theme, and I grew a lot doing this theme because I think people like recognize my content in a way, and also when they look at my feed, everything look cohesive. One of my biggest advice is to make your feed look cohesive, and that doesn't mean the same picture, like the same style over and over again. Like I even have letterboard pictures now, and somehow like they go into the flow of the theme, so it's just about like making it work. Some of my favorite apps to use is Preview and I don't know how to pronounce that, but yeah, to look the style of the feed, and sometimes I need to move like things around to create the whole balance grid. And again, it is all about you, like it's all about your vision, because sometimes I'm like editing in front of my friend and they're like, I don't see a difference, but for me, looking at two pictures or looking like at the different like setups of the feed, it makes a difference for me, for my vision, for what I want for my Bookstagram. So other people may not notice, but I definitely notice, and I bet you notice. So just trust your vision. And then I changed to this theme, which is very similar to the other one, but it's definitely less heavy and a little bit more light. One of my biggest inspirations at that time, and still is one of my biggest role models, is from Be With Love. At that time, she was known as Brookish Bronte. She was doing behind the scenes on her stories, and I really appreciated them because it made me feel creative and definitely inspire a lot of things on this feed. I also put my own behind the scenes and how I did it with like the apps that I had, like most of them were free, and people really enjoy that content, really enjoy seeing the behind the scenes and how I created every single picture. And this is definitely where I grew the most. I gained easily around 10,000 followers just showing the behind the scenes of everything. Unfortunately, it took a long time to create one picture. Like I edited around 3 to 5 hours on just one picture, and it got the same amount of likes as a flat lay. So I kind of got discouraged, and also starting school, so I knew my time would be limited. So I just chose to focus on normal setups without editing, and I really miss it. I hope I can go back soon, but yeah, 3 hours in editing is a lot of time. It was not just editing, but also getting the idea for the picture. It was brainstorming and like finding out like how could you also recreate it, and also the behind the scenes took a long time to like documents that step by step. So that's why I stopped it. But yeah, I really created some of my favorite pictures and some of the most memorable pictures that I have created during this time. Again, I gained the most followers, and I think it was because I was experimenting constantly, and that's what people like to see. Like they like to see new and exciting content. And yeah, so take that as an advice and use it as you will. So that's also one of my biggest advice, is to not be afraid to explore and change and just be creative. And now we go to my downfall. So basically at this time I was starting school again, and in Texas it's very cloudy, so who knew that the sun was important for pictures? Definitely not me back then. So I was just using the same filter, even though the lighting was not the same. So it created this horrible theme. I personally hate it. It's very heavy, and I don't know why I added those sparkles. I think it was just to like distract for the horrible filter. It was just, I felt so uninspired, and I really liked my pictures. During this time I felt so lost, and I was mostly afraid because I was like, did I gave everything that I had? Is this it? Do I don't have any more in me? It was just very hard and trying because I love to create content, and it was so scary to think that I was empty, like my creative well was done. So I tried to change it up. I knew the filter was a problem, so I went back to the original idea of floral. I bought some flowers that I liked, but because they were expensive, I didn't have a lot of them. As you can see, I mainly had blue ones because blue is one of my favorite colors and I really want to change it up, and I thought blue was kind of like cool. So I was like, you know what, let's go back to the floral idea that I had on the beginning, and that's how this theme started. It was absolutely horrendous. I don't know why people, I don't think they're the worst pictures. Definitely they're not the best, but that's where my lowest of likes were. Like before, pictures were getting 1,000 likes, 800, 500. During this theme, I was getting 100 likes, 300 tops. Like my best picture during this theme got 300. That was a hard blow. So I think that was the first time where I stopped posting and I took a break. I took a step back and went back to the basics. As you can see, this picture is very similar to the first picture with my filter. That's because I went back and got inspired again to make the change and not to be afraid. I also went to the supermarket and got a white comforter and analyzed every single piece of prop that I had to make sure everything matched the aesthetic. I also got some book pages out of the book and boom, new theme. I really like this theme. I think it's very aesthetically pleasing. I really liked it, but definitely was not sustainable. I only had like so very few props and the inevitable happened. I got lost again. I tried to experiment again with editing. That didn't work out. And again, it was just me feeling lost and feeling like, you know, like I need to heavily edit pictures and heavily produce things to get the amount of likes that I was getting or to get the growth. But there's a very different sentiment of creating because you're inspired and because you're passionate at creating because you want the likes. This is definitely the period where I only experimented and only edited pictures because of the likes, because I was not inspired. I was just like, this is what popular, this is what will get me likes, and it was a very unsatisfactory part of my journey. I was feeling constantly frustrated and lost, and I just it was just a very hard time. During this time I also got the most liked picture I ever had before letterboards. It was a hit. I think many people share it, recognize it. It created a lot of buzz. The comments were incredible. So definitely that was the one thing that kept me going with Bookstagram, because I was this close to giving up. So again, I took a step back. I look at my feed and I look at what other accounts were doing. And you know, one of the things that I really loved was color. I couldn't include color in my pictures unless it was floral, but that didn't work out. So it's like, now what? So my answer was books. I really like this theme. The filter is back again, but again, it's not heavy. I think it's very balanced, and I really love those colorful book stacks. It was super messy to shoot. So my bookshelf, it was constantly a mess, but I was really happy with all the pictures I was taking. This is where I got my Bookstagram love again. I was just really happy during this theme, and during this time is where I won so many rep searches, and I got the fake rate rep position, I got the out grade permanent position, and I got weekend favorable, and it was just a lot of success during this theme. And yes, it was because of the content, but I think you could see my passion for creating and how happy I was for my Bookstagram and books and to engage with the communities. And I think that's why I got so many rep searches, because believe it or not, passion shows. So a little bit of a story. I was in physics class, I was bored out of my mind. And when I'm bored, that's where I feel my mind is more creative, because it wants to distract from the physics. It's like I don't want to pay attention to like Newton's law. I want to like create. So this is where I got the idea for the letterboards, and I was like, oh my god, like I got like so many of my letterboard prompts there, because I had the idea, so instantly like I wrote it and I like drew the positions that I wanted to be and like the faces that I want to be doing, and I got really excited about it. I got so excited that I had to go to the bathroom and film myself and be like, oh my god guys, I have an idea, like super great, you're gonna see it. It was during summer, and it took me almost 6 months to publish my first letterboard picture because I was really nervous to show myself for the first time on my Bookstagram. Again, I don't know why I was so nervous, just as a filter. I was nervous to show my face and to see the feedback of people, even though I show my face on stories, but like stories disappear, pictures stay in your feed and affect your aesthetic. So I was really nervous about that, but like the reaction of the letterboard pictures blew my mind. I really wasn't expecting so much positive feedback, and this created a whole new era for my Bookstagram. And again, goes to show that experimenting, getting out of your comfort zone, because how do you expect things to change if you keep things the same? So even though I was really happy with my letterboard pictures and everything was going great in the Bookstagram world, my mental health started to decline during this time. So I got behind on my rep positions. I got behind with alt grade, with fake grade, with Wick and Fable. I feel that when somebody sends you something for free, I put quotation marks because it's not for free. You are kind of like working for the stuff. You are creating advertisement and bringing people to the store. So it's an equal exchange. And again, I felt like I was not doing my part, so I was feeling really guilty, and that plus like the mental stuff that was going outside Bookstagram, it was just really not a good time. So I took a little bit of a break. I think I took like a week or two, and then I came back. I was really inspired to create content again, and I really love this feed. I absolutely adore it. You can see like some journal shots that I did. Journaling has always been a therapy of mine. Journaling has always been a way for me to slow down and just like focus on what I'm doing and don't think about other stuff. So that's why you see so many journaling pictures, because that was my therapy in some way. And I really love how it turns out, and people really loved it. I'm really sad that I didn't keep up with it. I'm definitely thinking of bringing it back when I have time to do. Also, it creates a mess. But yeah, I would definitely love to create some more journaling spreads. So things started to look up again. I was definitely caught up with my rep photos. Also, I got to do my first read along. Again, other stuff that I was super scared about. I didn't know if people wanted to read with me. It was really fun, and I really enjoyed all the content, and we got to fangirl about like the tiniest stuff that happened in every single chapter. It was super fun, and I'm gonna be hosting more read-alongs in this 2020 year, so make sure to follow Fake Rate. I absolutely love them, and I really love Brit and Megan because I have some crazy ideas and they just say, sure, go ahead, run with it. Do you need help? What can I help you with? And now it's the return of Kayla. So for Bake Rate, I had like a pool photo shoot in mind, but again, I had like a very specific aesthetic in mind. So it's like, I'm gonna take the pictures, you post. And Kayla is always so gracious to be my model. I have watched all seasons of American Next Top Model, and I definitely show it during photo shoots. I'm like, neck, Kayla, let me see your neck. Kayla is honestly like the best. Love her through friendship. Through friend. Love you, Kayla. So it was summer, so it was BootCon and BA time. It was my first time going to New York City. I love New York City, love it. Like if I could live there, I would. I met so many amazing people on Bookstagram. Like I cannot believe people recognize me, like, oh. And I recognize people too. It was just so great. It was just a great experience. Again, during that trip, I met so many Bookstagrammers and so many content creators and authors, and it was really a dream come true. And that was the first time where I was like, I cannot believe that something that I do from my bedroom, like something that is only for me, is actually out in the world and people see it. It's just so weird. Like, it's such a weird feeling. And then I also realized that I would not be here if I would have give up all the times that I wanted to give up. Just keep on fighting, keep on doing what you're doing, because I promise you it's gonna pay off. After returning from New York, it was time to move to college. I really brainstormed a lot on how can I make my dorm room Bookstagram worthy in a budget. So the solution was white comforter and leaves and fairy lights. It is definitely harder to create content only one day a week when I used to have mini photo shoots every day at home, but now I'm only home some Saturdays and Sundays. It's been an incredible 2.5-year journey. I'm so excited what the future has in store. I just love every single thing that has brought me here. I cannot believe Bookstagram got me to New York, my dream city, that I got so many amazing friends. I am so grateful for every rep position that I have, for every single one of you, for every single comment. It means a lot to me. I cannot even put into words how positive this community has been, and just I'm just so grateful. Like, I cannot thank you enough for what you have given me, which is confidence to, you know, get out of my comfort zone. So I just want to say that if you're lost on your Bookstagram and you don't know what to do and you are lost, just know that every single step that you take on that journey, it is necessary. It is gonna help you learn new things, explore out of your comfort zone. Progress is not a straight line, but every single step that you give is a step forward. There is a quote that I really like, and it's, success is going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. Don't give up in your dreams. Really analyze what you want and believe in yourself, because you can do it. Believe me, I'm telling you, you can. You are good enough, so keep going and keep moving forward. I really love you guys. Thank you for being so kind and encouraging. I have some pretty amazing changes coming to my account soon. I'm so excited to keep exploring, keep experimenting, keep changing, and bringing new content to you. Thank you so much for watching. Mine with Michelle, and I see you next time.